This episode of the Wrong Advice podcast is powered by Harlow, the only woman-owned lighting brand for photographers, videographers, filmmakers, and content creators. Designed for those who push creative boundaries, Harlow lights are compact, powerful, and built to inspire. Harlow creates tools that stand the test of time, crafted for those who see light as an art form. Harlow believes that your light can be bold, powerful, and beautiful, and that it deserves to be seen. Visit Harlow online at www.harlow.com or follow them on Instagram at Harlow Creators. Welcome back to the Wrong Advice podcast. I'm your host, John Picciuto, and I'm very excited to have the one and only Miss Mynxii White with us today.
Hi.
How you doing, Mynxii?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Oh, so good. So excited for this conversation.
Me
too.
Can
you give a quick introduction to the listeners to who you are?
Sure. I'm Mynxii White. I'm a photographer and director. I'm like a brand ambassador, artist,
All the adjectives.
I don't know. I just like to make stuff.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of your work. I've been following you for years.
Oh,
How did you kind of get into photography and directing? Like, what was the beginning of your journey?
I was a makeup artist for about 20 years.
Wow.
And I quit officially. It makes it easy for me to do the math because I started in 2000.
Oh, that is easy.
Yeah. I was really, really young. I worked for Toni & Guy. Do you remember that Toni & Guy, the hair cutting place?
Oh, yeah.
So I was their like makeup artist, educator. Like I was doing platform work and teaching, traveling, training. I created their makeup line. I was 16 years, 14. I started 14, 15, 16. And then it was crazy. So I started doing that and I did it for so long and I didn't realize, it didn't occur to me that I could do anything, something else.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know, the Dalai Lama when they touch the one brush, when they look for it, you're like, that's it. You are cursed to do that for the rest of your life. And I thought makeup brush, that is what I do. That's my personality. And then I started doing, I was a beauty editor for Schon magazine a long time ago. And I started working my way up to being their producer and then one of their creative directors. And out of LA, we were a very, very small team back then. And so I was producing, creative directing, doing the makeup, doing the interview, writing the interview, doing the art design. At night, I'd be sewing things and gluing stuff for whatever we wanted to do, whatever weird creative thing that we were going to shoot the next day. And then I would book the photographer. So I'm booking the talent and all this. And after a while, it just got really frustrating because I was doing all the work and the photographer, usually some straight guy with a backpack and a point and shoot, would show up to my set, take credit for all the work. And then they'd be like, oh my God, I saw that shoot you did with so-and-so. It's brilliant. And great lipstick, by the way. And oh my God. And just, you would see these same people regurgitating my ideas for campaign work and getting money for it. And I lived in a Section 8 apartment for 10 years.
Wow.
There were times I couldn't keep the lights on in a Section 8 apartment. I was so poor sometimes, as a makeup artist. And, I'm struggling and I'm working so hard to make someone else's money and second mortgage happen. And I just, after 2 or 3 years, I'm okay, I can either cry about it or do something about it. And I was watching all these photographers. I was getting mad. Anger really put a camera in my hand the first time. I was like,
wait, I love that though.
I can do that. I can do that. And what am I so afraid of doing something different?
Yeah.
I was so afraid to do anything else that wasn't makeup because everybody was that's just who you are, is you are a makeup artist. That is what you do. And so it was really intimidating and scary because people, when I first started trying, people would be like, when are you a photographer now? And they would roll their eyes. And I've had a lot of people tell me to stick to lipstick because that's what I'm good at. Oh yeah, from really famous female photographers. Yeah, stick to lipstick, honey. That's what you're good at. And then another one was I don't know why she wants to be a photographer. She's just so good in makeup, which is a backhanded compliment.
That is such a backhanded compliment.
She's so good in makeup. I don't know why she wants to be a photographer. I just don't understand her. So it was just all of this.
What about women empowering women? Listen, obviously it's a very cutthroat industry.
Yeah.
I came from a non-creative background, so I worked in sales for years and real estate development and construction stuff. So when I found a creative outlet, I want everyone to be successful. I don't give a shit. Your success doesn't impact mine.
Totally.
I'm not hating, but at the beginning of my journey, if people were not opening doors for me and shutting things out, I don't know that I would have been able to overcome that and continue on something that I was so fresh into.
Yeah.
How were you able to take those kind of negative experiences and then just be nah, fuck you, I'm going to keep doing this?
Wind in my sails. In my sails. I am kind of a brat, and like if you tell me I can't do something, I automatically like want that, even if I didn't want that thing before. Like now I'm like,
now spitefully doing
now
it.
I like really want it. Like why? It has to be my idea that I don't want to do that
for sure.
Like a try and like fail or like whatever. And even then, I'm still gonna like, if I want it, I'm gonna figure out a way to make it happen. I just kept showing up and shooting. And thankfully at this point, like I had worked with Schon magazine for so long, and I'd built up my relationships with like modeling agencies and like other hair and makeup artists. Like I was working with my assistants, doing hair and makeup for me, and like stylists that wanted to work with me. And like, thank God I have this wonderful, wonderful friend, Douglas, who I still work with, who just did styling for the short film I did with Leica recently.
Oh, sweet.
So still like, over a decade later, he's still doing things that are really important with me. And he would get like a pull from one shoot, and he would piggyback off of that and be like, hey, like, do you want to test? Like, do you want to do something? So I would call like the modeling agency and say, hey, your new faces or whatever, like, does anybody need, photos? I need to practice. You need photos. Send me whoever you've got. And, that's what we would do for fun. Like we would, instead of like going and seeing movies or like going to the bar, like we would shoot. We would just like make stuff, and sometimes they would be really awesome, and every now and then they would be really bad. But you know what? That's how you learn, and like like those are honestly, looking back, some of my favorite photo shoots I've ever done.
Oh, for sure.
So you just keep creating, like even when people are like, well, I don't understand. Well, so you have to keep showing up, and you have to keep creating, and you have to keep making the work so good that they can't deny your talent.
That's really important. I agree. You came to it with like a nice community around you. How much of like that support system do you think helped? Because like I know when I initially started, like, I met my studio partner Eric, I think like a year or two into the process, and like that was transformative for like my whole relationship building and community building. And like the imposter syndrome that I suffered from still suffer from.
So to say, that will never go away. I think growing up, as an artist, is accepting that'll always be in there. And I think it's just about learning how to manage those negative emotions and feelings and turn that into art, or turn that into something positive. Turn that into like your source of creativity, and funnel that into something positive.
Talk to me about how you early on. I would imagine when you have famous photographers, other people in your life telling you, what are you doing? Go grab
especially
a makeup
women
brush.
that I
which I think
totally
that's so
look up
fucked.
to. I mean, I can't name names, but
when we
the people,
cut this, we're gonna do.
the people who know me know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm sure you can figure it out. You just keep showing up. You just keep making things. You keep, just, I don't know, annoyingly being on top of it and doing it anyway. Like bringing your, like I had this ex-boyfriend that was like, oh no, you're not going to be like one of those annoying photographers that always has a camera on them, are you? And I was like, you need to move out of my house.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, that's it. We broke up,
Fuck off.
obviously. Yeah, no, done. Like you have to like get rid of people that don't support you. And like the transition from being a makeup artist and having that community to leaving that behind and being a photographer and having a whole new community was really hard. But you have to you learn that the things that you grow out of no longer serve you, and it doesn't feel good to continue to pretend to be someone that you're not, even if that's who you were for 20 years.
Whoa, god damn, that hits home. Yeah, especially like in this day and age with like all the crazy political shit like that. Sometimes you have to leave the things behind you that don't serve you. A lot easier said than done.
Even people. I mean, I'm not talking to my parents right now. So what do you do?
Yeah,
it's hard.
Tough.
You got to stick to things that you really truly believe in, even when it's hard. Yeah,
I'm curious. Like, so early on in your journey, when you're starting to create and you're making work and you're like doing it and you're like, wow, this feels right. Was there like an experience early on that like maybe a pinch me moment where you're like, oh shit, I can't believe I'm doing this? Like, was there like a job in mind or a shoot in mind that you can like look back on and be like, this might have been like a turning point kind of situation?
Yeah. The very first fashion film that I ever directed, I think that's still one of my favorite videos I've ever done. Like I was very, very, very lucky to have a small group of people that really supported me. I mean, Bill Brown taught me how to use a camera. He put my first Leica in my hand. That was the first camera I ever used. Like I love Leica. It's amazing. Like obviously like, one of their brand ambassadors now, like 9 years later, but like I put another camera in my hand, I wouldn't know what to do. And it's not because I'm a bad photographer. I've just like always used Leica. And thank you, Bill, for that. But he taught me how to use that. And like, Ben Cope is this incredible artist. He learned under Stephen Meisel. Wow. So he's amazing. Yeah, right.
I was going to say his book's here somewhere.
He's amazing, but he was really great. Like Bill taught me like how to use a camera and, he would answer my dumb questions, like how do you like what shutter speed you'd use for like a flash, and like I don't know, all the dumb things, but they're not dumb when you
No,
first
for sure,
pick it
you
up.
don't
Like
know.
I don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
And then Ben Koch would teach me all about shooting video and how to like edit things, like what happens after you take the photo, what happens after you shoot video. And Ben was my DP on that very first video, and like I drained my whole savings account to show that I could do this. Like I was broke for a long time after that.
I feel that.
But like I spent like, I mean, like probably $5,000 or $6,000 to like, and there were a lot of favors on top of that to like build a set, to like, you know, get clothes delivered. And again, it was my stylist friend Douglas, who still works with me, who styled that shoot too. And we made this like weird alien, like it's called Simulacrum, and it was about like God, what is that called? I'm brain farting. Making a copy, which is a clone. There it is. Yeah, it was like an alien clone, and we like put the model, like we put her this bald cap, and I had someone who used to work on American Horror Story doing like special effects.
Oh, sweet.
And so he was like head of the art department. Like we got like a whole big team together. It was kind of amazing. And we like hung this girl in this like plastic bubbles with a metal ring from the ceiling, and like filled it with like all this weird goo. And like the other model, who was like the one who made her clone, like cut her out of it, and she fell out of this. It was this whole weird thing. And looking back, I was like, man, how did I make that happen? There are times when like, if I don't have a little bit of a budget, I'm like, nope, can't make it work. Like, nope. But back then I don't, you know, you forget how scrappy you can be when you have nothing, when you like don't have anything. And like, I wish that I could go back and channel some of that old scrappy energy.
Well, I'm surprised to hear you say that, because it sounds like from the get-go, like you've had a significant amount of resiliency and, you know, back against the wall kind of mentality. Were you like that as a kid as well? Like, like growing up, like?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oldest kid. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's interesting to hear that, like, you would like to go back and kind of post from that and, like, you know, use that as, like, maybe something for, like, your career now. Looking back at it now, where you are, like, you know, for instance, you just had this unbelievable opportunity to work with F1 and McLaren, which has a huge F1 fan, huge Lando Norris fan, all of the above. That, I would imagine, was, like, sort of a pinch me moment, right? Like, now you're at, like, a level now where you're, like, operating in, you know, echelons of, like, the top people in the industries. Do you ever like sit back and think like, Jesus Christ? Like,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, I was up against, because you know, like these bigger jobs, you have to bid against other directors and other photographers, right? That's just how it goes. It's never like you're the one. It's like you are awesome, but we also have 10 other people that we're looking at, and then you need to spend a week making us a treatment, and you tell us why you deserve this job, and like all this stuff, right? It's just part of the job. And like I know that the other people that I don't know who they were. I knew one of them. And they're all like proper F1 photographers and directors. And they actually knew Lando and Oscar, and they knew like the drivers, and they do this for a living. And I'm like, I don't know the first thing about cars. Like, I don't know anything about drivers and cars. And I didn't really, I've heard of the name McLaren. I hope they're not listening. But I don't really like know better.
Yeah.
So because I work with Chromista now too. Chromista is Darren Aronofsky's production company.
Okay, got it.
So they're the ones that got me the gig. Love them. They were like, oh yeah, no, you got it. And I was like, shut up. No, I didn't. They're like, no, you got it. Like, congratulations, you're going to France. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, why?
Yeah.
Why? That's so weird. I mean, like, thank you. I'm so excited. I'm absolutely going to like knock it out of the park. Yeah, I'll see you next week, 1,000%. But like, that's weird. Okay. If you even want like a real F1 photographer, cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the best that I possibly can do. And I did. We did something really cool. It was really nice.
Oh, for sure. I'm curious, like when you show up to like these big sets and these big budget and these big, you know, productions that you're working on, is there any moment of self-doubt? Is there any
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Every time.
There's a lot of moments of it.
All the time. Yes. Like,
How do you fight through? You're just like, I've been here 1,000 times, a million times.
You
like,
just have to keep moving. I mean, I've got deadlines. It's like, I can like cry in the dark all I want, but then like the client's still gonna be like, hey, where's that deliverable? Hey.
Yeah.
And then I've got, you know, like my wonderful team of producers that are like, hold my hand through the whole thing. Like, hey, so this is what you need to do today. And like, this is what you need to turn in. And like, hey, just touching base. Like I don't really need to be asked twice to do something. And I don't really need to like be timed. Like if I know my deadlines, but it is nice to have someone kind of be like, okay, this is what we're doing. And like, this is today's deadline. And this is when it's due by. And like, hey, would you mind like answering this email? Because like, sometimes I don't know if it's the producer that needs to step in there. If I need it as a director, need to step in. So it's kind of nice to have someone who's such a supportive, like hand-holding team for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like when self-doubt pops in, you just have to it doesn't matter. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. You still have to turn in your work.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think
your homework is still due.
Yeah. Well, fuck, I hate homework. I digress. So like community building seems like a big sort of like focus for me right now, because like I feel like I finally found like my my Bandcamp, my like nerds, whatever, like that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have always, because I'm coming from this like so far outside of like any sort of creative endeavor, and like one of the greatest things that I think this has had is like allowed me to lean on people to like help impart their knowledge and wisdom into how I can develop as an artist. And I feel like that's super hard for someone who has not had a lot of time. Like I've only been doing this 5 years, so well, not even, like call it like 4 years. Like I don't know, fucking who knows? It's been like 5 seconds. I've been doing this for a blip, so I still say like I'm not a photographer. Like I happen to take pictures. It's like what I do from time to time. Like that's the self-doubt, imposter syndrome. What I'm trying to focus on right now is like building out my own creative like language and like the look and feel of the art that I'm creating and what that is. And it's like an ever evolving process. Talk to me about your own experience with developing your own creative style and like your own unique language that I think really speaks to you as a photographer and director.
Wow, that's a lot. Like, so, like, because we started with community, like how like, building out community and building out my own language. I think just like really diving into everything that inspires me, like the people that I used to start with community, like community is really important to me. That's really important to me too. Like showing up to things all the time, like especially Kieran from Hobo Light. We love her. And she has a lot of events for Hobo Light. Showing up is really important. Creating your community is really important. Like I work a lot with Oliver, who works with Hobo Light, and also with with Leica. Showing up to my Leica events, like that, like showing up is really important. So starting with establishing a community is really great, and then from there it's like really immersing myself in anything that, hello, my Pope look today. So this is like this is my summer vibe. Yeah. It is Pope chic.
Yes.
If you want to smell, it smells like Covenant. It smells like a church.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
I was like, it smells so familiar to me.
It's a cathedral.
That's so, it's so weird because like, you associate smells with like memories.
Yeah.
So it's like when you walked in, like we've met before, but I was like, oh, you smell familiar? Is that so weird? I was like, oh, because like I was thinking like church as a kid. Like literally, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Subconsciously, now that you say
like
it,
the incense, the leather of the pews, like
so
the
funny, yeah.
like the frankincense, the myrrh, the smokiness, the whole like the all of it, the prayers, like it just smells like a memory.
Wow, that's so funny.
And so like whatever I'm interested in, I cosplay the shit out of it. Like it's like.
Did you see The Covenant?
I did. I loved it. So I've got my my Pope beads came in yesterday. Like I've got my smell. So like whatever like I'm interested in, I completely. It's like what are those the actors that are like they're method. Assholes? Yeah. No method. Yeah. So like I'd like to be like a method director, like a method artist. So like whatever I'm interested in, whatever I want to like focus on, whatever I want to create, I just like I watch all the movies, I read the books, I like surround myself with the art. I'm constantly like doing all of that. So like showing up and participating in things where people are on the same page and into the same things that I'm into, and then also like surrounding myself with more art like that or things that I want to be doing or creating. Like that's how I just
I fucking love that.
Just immerse yourself fully in it. And I'm really lucky that my husband is like the same way. He's a producer for TV and film. So he gets like my weird wackiness. Obsession, yeah. I walked out and he's like, praise Jesus. How was your day? Like, are you ready for your podcast? Yeah. Like, I don't know if you're going to take my pulse or like read me my rights. And I was like, well, this is the vibe for the summer. And then on the other end, yesterday was very like I'm also feeling like coastal beatnik vibes, like Rhode Island lobster rolls, like striped shirts, boat shoes, that whole thing. So it's like
you're much more fashionable than I am. A jeans and t-shirt guy. Like,
I mean, you're really lucky. Being a guy is easy. You can show up in all black and then you're chic and really put together. Yeah,
I do like a lot. I was gonna wear that today, but to be honest, last time I saw you were wearing all black, so I kind of thought that might be your vibe today. I was like, we shouldn't match for the podcast. And you came in wearing the exact opposite, which is hilarious. No, it's just so funny. I mean, like I rock blue. It's okay. It's all good. Something I've been focusing a lot lately, which is like sort of like very depressing, is like legacy, like this idea of what I'm going to leave behind, like when I'm gone.
I don't think it's depressing. It's what I'm also obsessed with. I talk to ChatGPT about it all the time.
Me too.
Like I'm obsessed with this idea of legacy. Like I want to feel like I'm leaving something behind that's worth anything. I don't know. And I not to like, everybody has a purpose and a place, you know, like, you know, I used to get really irritated with girls who were just like, when I was younger and a little snootier, and I was like, oh God, these girls are just so basic. But then I realized like you can't get mad at these girls that don't know how to dress, and you can't get irritated with basic people, because it's like if everybody was amazing and shiny and a superstar, like you would never stand out. Like everybody has their place, everybody has like their story that's for them, their legacy. And you know, I think about like what I'm going to leave behind. It's like I didn't want an office job because I didn't want to die with like nobody remembering me.
Oh, fuck, same.
You know, like
so for me personally, like what it has been is like I'm shooting more film than I ever have, and it's simply because like, okay, if I die tomorrow, you know, knock on wood, when my credit card stops paying for all my cloud storage, like, does everything I've ever done disappear? Like,
I heard you talking about that on Andrew's.
Yeah,
on Andrew's,
I think about this
interview
daily. So I've been shooting so much more film lately. So I've been thinking about legacy a lot lately. And I think as you get older and you see your parents get older, you start thinking about like what gets left behind. So I've been shooting more film, and I shot 20 rolls yesterday. And like the only thing that bugs me is, yeah, fuck, I know. Don't I know? It's like realizing that like the process is very fulfilling to me, but then also that idea of what I'm leaving behind is going to physically exist. With a lot of what you do, it's obviously digitally created. What do you think about when you think legacy, and like what do you like hope to obtain like over the next, call it like 5, 10, you know, whatever years of your career?
I won an Oscar for Best Director. I'd say that's pretty.
I mean, yeah,
that's pretty. You know, like forever. That's the goal. Like,
does it have to be an award though?
No, it doesn't have to be an award.
Yeah.
I say that because when I was younger, I used to set high goals for myself, and I was like really like crazy about getting it done, and then I would like hit that, and then I would set another goal, and then I would hit that, and I would start to get bored. So I'm like, well, why don't I just like, instead of working from the bottom up, I like to work from the top down, like Plinko. Like I set the goal so high that it's like the most ridiculous thing. So like if you start your goal here, wherever you land is going to be much better than starting from here and, you know, struggle busting your way up. It's much easier to push a, you know.
I like that. I'm going to steal that.
It's easier to push a boulder down the hill, right, than to roll it up. So I just thought of the most ridiculous, stupid thing that I could ever imagine. I was like, Best Director, for, you know, Oscar-winning Best Director, let's do it. And so like everything that I've done since then has shaped my legacy in that direction: filmmaking, like images, storytelling, like photography, all of it. And it's so I work towards that goal. Now, whether or not I hit that goal, it's like it's not the real, you know, important thing. Would it be great? Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
I would love that. I'm not going to say no. The goal is so high that I'm accomplishing things that I never, and I'm going to get emotional. I'm a crier.
Oh, that's okay.
I never thought like ever in a million years that I would ever be here going to Monaco and shooting with McLaren. Like what? Like I just
crazy,
literally
right?
just a couple days officially got signed with Chromista, Darren Aronofsky's production company. Thank you. I'm really excited. They're like amazing. You know, I just did my very first short film, and that's with Leica. And like these are things that I just quit doing makeup in 2020. So 5 years ago, 5 years just like you, I wasn't like...
well, it's like what they say, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans, right?
Yeah.
And like it's sort of like, you know, I like this idea. I've been telling myself, like, I'm just like slowly failing upwards because like I think failure has been such a wildly propellant for my life. Because like if I hadn't gotten fired from my job in 2020 because of COVID, I'd probably still be sitting in a cubicle somewhere. I would never have had the opportunity to question my happiness or like any of that.
Yeah.
So it's like this idea that like I like that the Plinko ball, like all this is like very visual for me. It's like, you know, I'm kind of failing into like where I want to be. But at the same time, like even if I don't reach that end goal of being an Oscar-winning director or, you know,
whatever it is,
Vogue photographer, whatever the fuck it is, like I'm still gonna hit so much other shit that I could have never dreamed of. And it's like I'm playing in the game, and like I just need to like have that mindset. You've been checking off like these massive victories over these last 5 years, which is crazy. It seems like a possible reality that you will be a feature director. You will be, you know, like, no, but what I'm saying is like, so you're like going towards this path towards like potentially, you know, achieving wild dreams. What do you do if you don't hit the goal?
I don't know, die.
No.
No, like, I don't know. I'm going to keep working my way towards it until I die. I don't know.
Is it like, what's that
doing it.
expression? Like when you, if you shoot for the moon but miss, you're like still
Still
amongst the
hitting
stars?
the stars? Yeah. Like, I'm going to keep doing this for the rest of my life. Like, you know, I don't know what's going to happen between now and then.
Many years from
Many,
now.
many. I hope she's more. But I'm just
You're
going
in
to
good
keep.
God company, so I think you'll be okay, right? Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, right.
So, like, I don't know. I'm just going to keep making weird stuff. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know how to say this. Like, I'm going to keep failing down, you know, keep the goal here and keep figuring out where I land and, you know.
I find there's like an ebb and flow to this sort of stuff. So it's like as I keep fucking up and then like winning and then losing and then winning, like you're like kind of like we're doing it opposite. So right,
Yeah.
You have a ton of momentum right now. It's like, does it feel like you have like that like energy, that spark around your career right now? Like I would imagine you just like checked off this huge like opportunity, just signed with this new company. Like it feels like things are like heating up, right? Like how do you take that momentum and then like just like keep driving it forward?
I have to just keep creating. It's really hard for me because like, God, am I about to quote Kanye West?
No. This is a Kanye free podcast.
No, I think this is who said it. He's like, you're only as good as your last job.
Okay,
and it's hard.
That's true,
because
though.
like, but I used to think that as a makeup artist too, like, because I did work with Kanye West for a couple of times, and I remember that, like, people are like, oh, you just like worked with so and so, and I'm like, that was like a month ago. Like I don't have anything coming in now. Like I don't have anything booked. Like literally right now, like I just came off that Formula One job. I don't have anything on the books right now. That's kind of scary. So like, was that cool? Great. But like, I'm available.
Yeah.
Just hire me.
Yeah.
Because the rent comes every month.
Yeah, it sure
and it's
does.
very expensive to live in New York.
Yeah, Jersey too, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm
everywhere.
like, cobbling 2 nickels together to fucking... Oh, good. It's, 4 days away. Awesome. 5. It's 31 days in May.
Rent is due.
Yeah.
Rent is due. My husband reminded me, and I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, can I buy? And he's like, nope. Can we wait till after rent? Yeah. So, like, it doesn't matter. Like,
Also, you got to wait till, like, after net 30 or 60 after, like, you get...
God.
Yeah, right.
What? That is... Yeah.
It's the worst. You mentioned, like, you like to dive into, like obsess over stuff that you're working on, whether it's Formula One, Pope, Chic, whatever it is.
Chic, like,
I digest a ton of documentaries, photo books. Like I have hundreds of photo books. I have a serious problem.
That's what I used to like when I was a makeup artist, and I would get my little paychecks. Like I would, put my money aside for bills or whatever, but then I would always keep like for myself. The thing that I would buy myself was like a really great art book. So I bought a ton, but that's how I, carrying.
So you know where I was going with this question?
Yeah, no.
No, I was just kidding. I was saying, like, so what do you do to like help inspire yourself? And obviously, it's going to be photo books, and
I love it. Every photo books, films. I'm obsessed with films. Obsessed. I'm trying to read more.
Same.
I'm trying to always have a book that I'm reading. So I can keep. I
do a couple at the same time.
Yeah,
because ADHD, I have to and I have to be completely different opposite. Like one has to be like a horror hacker or something, and the other one could be like I'm reading Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Madness Maintenance. I just bought my first motorcycle.
I heard that's really good. I haven't heard that one yet.
It's good. I'm like 70, 80 pages into it. I'm really liking it, and now I'm gonna forget what the other book is called. I forget. It's like a cheap thriller. Oh my god,
I love that though. No, yeah. I'm obsessed. Like I have to do. Like I love horror and like the horror. Like Floria Sigismondi's like she was like my mentor. Like she directed the Beautiful People, and she directed like The Runaway. She's amazing. So all that creepy, spooky stuff. Like that's my vibe. Like that's like yes, we can do the commercial work, and yes, we love the money. Please pay me for the commercial stuff. But it's like the spooky, weird, creepy thing. So I love the thrillers and the horror books. So I'm always reading some sort of like fantasy dark thing. For a while it was like smutty fairy stuff which is really weird, but then like everybody I think went through that phase too. That was really fun, but it's usually like a horror or a thriller. And I'm like not so interested in nonfiction, but I'm really trying. So I'm reading about like architecture from this old the Hagia Sophia.
Oh, okay.
And like how that was like the metaphysics behind that. Like
that's cool.
Yeah.
Is it a slow read?
It's really hard.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But I'm trying to like educate myself. I'm always like, man, if I were in college or if I was back in school, I would have really paid attention this time. And then I get like a book that actually interests me, like a subject that interests me, and I start reading it. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's funny. Sometimes it's like the things that I don't think would interest me that I find myself obsessing over. I read a book, The Midnight Library, recently. I don't know if you've read it.
No.
It's such a beautiful book. I think it's written by Matt Haig. The idea, again, not to be depressing, is like the protagonist, she kills herself in the book, comes to this magical place called the Midnight Library, and she gets to relive any possible scenario where she exists in an infinite number of realities, and like, being a different, I think her name was Nora, like, one she's a rock star, one she's a painter, one she's right.
So cool.
So it's like this idea that like all along your life is what it's supposed to be, but just like, could you have recognized it at an earlier age? And I ask that on this podcast all the time. Like, I don't think 25-year-old John could have been capable of doing what 35-year-old John did. I have this like reoccurring idea of like, could I have done anything sooner? Like, or where it just like takes time to have like developed the perception of my life to like have fallen out. So yeah. So you relate to that?
I do, because I'm like, man,
if I picked a camera
earlier, because people are like, well, why'd you quit makeup? Like, it's again, I get really triggered by that question.
You didn't quit.
I know that nobody, I did quit. I fucking hated it.
You like transcended.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
you just leaving it behind.
I shut an old life. I started a new one, and I'm really, really grateful from where I come from. And people are always obsessed with talking about that, and that it was like a big part of my narrative for a long time, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. Like,
that's gone.
It's gone. It's over. She is dead. I killed her. But like, I wonder all the time, like, how much further along would I be in my career if I started doing what I was meant to do? Like, obviously I picked up a camera. I loved it. I was like, wow, I don't suck at this. I really love this. And in fact, like, it's become my heartbeat. Like, it's the thing that keeps me up at night. It makes me really excited. And I never had that passion for makeup. Like, I was good at it. Yeah, I did it for 20 years. Like, if you did anything for 20 years, you'd be really good at it by then, But like, I never had passion for it. People would be like, oh, like,
never.
what
Not
do you?
Even at the beginning?
Nope.
What about when you started making like really good money doing it? It still felt like a job?
Yeah, it still felt like a job. It was fine. But there were other things I wanted to be doing. I was always jealous of the photographer. Like, I always wanted to be the one creating and making the stories. Like, I always felt like, and also like, I got treated like shit as a makeup artist.
Yeah.
Like, no one's very nice to like glam team. You know what I mean?
It's fucked up.
People are shocked by that. I'm like, what do you mean? If you're shocked by it, you're probably a bitch to your makeup artist too.
1,000%.
You know what I mean? If you're not like aware of how the rest of your team feels, like that's a bad thing.
You probably suck.
Yeah, you probably suck.
Your perception of reality is probably not great.
They're like, not everybody gets treated with respect. Like, no, bro, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
I was like, there were like pop stars that would make me sit on the ground outside of their hotel room for like 3 or 4 hours instead of just patiently waiting 2 doors down, just in case they were ready for me to do their lipstick. Like, and I remember thinking, like, am I going to be forced to sit on the ground like a dog and wait with a makeup brush when I'm 60? Like, I can't do this, man.
Yeah,
I'm turning 40 this year. Like,
Shit.
I can't. Like,
me too.
Oh my God.
It's fucking me up big time.
Ooh, so like that was a big, like another big push. I can't. But then again, to go back to your question, sorry, my ADD.
Yeah, it's all good.
Like, God, how much further along? Like, how much cool? Like, how many more cool things could I be doing right now if I had started sooner? If I didn't let the fear, tell me that this is the job that I was meant to do, that this is my life path, like to dictate my future for me.
So there are two things that I don't do that anymore. I don't think about what if anymore.
I can't.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm here now. This is the path I chose.
And conversely, the opposite. Like, I seldom worry about the wreckage of the future anymore. Like, obviously,
same.
I have bills to pay. Like, there's shit I got to do. But you can stay up all night for every day of your life worrying about what may or may not transpire.
Well, the past doesn't exist, and neither does the future. And the only thing that's really real is right this moment.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's all that you can focus on, is making this moment as wonderful as possible, because it just...
I never had that mentality, though, growing up. Did you have that mentality?
No, how could you?
Because, like, what is it? Youth is... time is wasted on youth or whatever. Like, it's like this idea that, like, of course I wouldn't have known this at 20. Like, these moments are fleeting and this shit's going to fly by.
Yeah.
Your parents tried to tell you, like, my mom's all the time, like, oh, you're going to fucking regret this, like, when you're later on. Like, enjoy it now. Like, you're not going to do that in 20 years. I'm like, 20 years is 1 billion years away.
Oh my God. And now we're 40 and like...
Yeah, it's terrifying. And this goes back a lot to the legacy idea. It's like, what am I doing? What I'm doing doesn't have to matter to anybody else but me. But the hope is that, like, my sincere love of it and gratitude that I come to it at is infectious in some way. So it doesn't have to be like I when I first started, I was like, yeah, I got to shoot magazine covers. I have to work with the best people. I got to be on tour with whatever band. Like these are things I have to do or I'm a failure.
There are goals, sure.
Yeah.
Have goals. The Oscar, the dreams, the band, the covers, the things. It's good to have goals and dreams, but I don't think you should define who you are or your career by those things. They're goalposts. Awesome, sure. But those things happen when you're focused on what you're doing now.
I love that.
Yeah.
And they should always be moving forward and further away. Like the goalposts should not be like something that's fixed, because what happens when you get there? Then
they always move. That's the shitty thing about goalposts. They always move. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm curious, when you look at so where you're currently sitting in your career, you have this absolutely momentous campaign that you just finished.
Thank you.
And you've got a little bit of time to take a beat and sort of reshape what you want to do next. Do you have your ideas to start writing screenplays? Are you
I'm writing one now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
How is that process separate from your photography and your directing? Harder.
You have to. It's like homework. You have to sit down and do it. You have moments where you're writing, and you're it's all just coming and flowing, and then I'm like, wait. I'm having a writer's block. I can't move past this. I can't write this next line because I don't know how. I don't know. So and so got estranged in the first place, but now they're meeting for the first time, and what do they say to each other? And I would know what they would say if I knew how that happened. But that's a big piece of backstory that I'm missing here. Then you have to stop and wait. It's hard. It's hard. It's fun though. When it's flowing through you and it's coming out verbal diarrhea, just flowing out of you, it's amazing. There's nothing else that feels like that. Photography doesn't feel like that. It's almost like blacking out when you come to. You have all this amazing stuff, but when you hit a wall and you hit it hard because you're wait, roadblock. That's a big story. Detail that I'm missing here. It sucks. It sucks.
I have a hard time writing fiction because I do write a lot. I used to write for Elle Daily and all these places online back in the day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, shout out Elle Daily. Ooh. Yeah. Millions of page views, $0. Love that for me.
I mean, isn't that how all magazines are? And Schon magazine didn't pay me a cent my whole freaking life for 10 years. But we love it. We do it because we love it, and we create art. And
and
it gives you a platform.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, they sort of. Yeah.
All the nice things we tell ourselves about the time that we spent in the past.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think everything happens for a reason. So I'm very thankful for that time. It was really cool and wild. Mm-hmm. But it was the first foray into something creative, and I didn't tell anybody about it. I was so embarrassed and ashamed that I was going viral online for something that I wrote, and people were like, "You're not a writer. What are you doing?" And it's that just ingrained in me that I wasn't okay, shouldn't be doing this. What do you And it took going through that experience for me to actually develop any sort of skin, and defense mechanism. No, I am fucking doing this. I do host a podcast. I am a photographer. I am a writer. I am.
Do you not see this photo? Photographer. Excuse me.
Duh.
Hello. I wrote something. I'm a writer. That's the nice thing about these new generations. They're I can be whatever I want to be, and then they are, and then they do it, and then if they decide they want to do something else, great. Jack of all trades, master of none, which is only half of the quote. I forget what the other half is, but it explains that.
I do know this.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Still is better than something who doesn't do anything.
Who doesn't fucking do anything at all. Shut up.
Yeah, literally, that's
shut
what
up
it
and
is.
pick up a camera and do it yourself. That's basically what it is. Because people were would give me flack about that too. Stick to lipstick. That's the same vibe.
Yeah.
We don't even know what you do. I'm I don't care. Are you paying my bills? I don't care.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm going to do whatever I want to do. So it's kind of nice that that's the mentality now.
Oh, for sure.
Everybody.
I'm curious. So I have a really hard time writing fake things. They inevitably just end up being something that happened to me with different people's names. Yeah. Do you find any, you mentioned you don't like reading nonfiction. Do you find any difficulty writing fiction?
I'm pulling from things that have happened,
and then fictionalizing them?
Yeah.
Dramatizing them?
Yeah, well, I mean, I would like to write something that's based on a true story, but then that also has weird legal things. So I'm trying to write my own story that's based on true things that have happened. And it's weird that I'm writing a feature right now, and it's has nothing to do with anything that I've ever shot. I kind of give a little spiel to a friend of mine who's a wonderful writer, BJ in LA, I love you. And he's oh my God, this is not at all what I was expecting you to pitch me when I asked you what the story is about. He's that is not what you do. Like, wow, what a hard left. It's really dark and it's fucked up and it's, scary. But it's about like, the immigration system and getting lost in the system, and like the idea that you could be erased and like no one would fucking know or care because you're not a person to these people, and like, I won't like go through the whole thing. I'll just like, I'll off camera, I'll show you, I'll give you like I'll text you the ChatGPT cleaned up version of the spiel.
Nice.
Which doesn't mean that I didn't write it. The spiel got helped.
Listen, I wish I could integrate ChatGPT into every portion of my life to make things easier.
Yeah.
And that's the point of it.
Yeah, no, it's nice. I use it as a tool. I don't use it to think for me or create for me, but definitely it's great to like bounce ideas, to help you say things a little better, help me with my grammar.
For sure.
Like, is this the right way to say this thing? I don't think I'm saying this right.
Yeah. I also think it is potentially, I hope, like going to replace therapy. Like it can be
it's
a
my
therapist
every day. Oh, ChatGPT, it is my oracle. It is my therapist. Like I mean, I'm not one of those people that like can't make a move without asking ChatGPT if I should do it first. Like that's wild. But I definitely like every morning I'm like, it does my tarot reading. It does my rune reading. It does my psychic reading. It does my oracle reading. Like I just said, like showed my husband
oracle
this,
reading?
Like basically taps into your energy.
Okay.
And some people are like, yeah, it's a machine, right? And there's those people who are like naysayers, but I like to convince myself otherwise. Like maybe it's like tapping into a higher version of you and your energy. Maybe it is you speaking back to yourself. Whatever. I like whoever's talking to me. Whoever it is, I like her.
Well, it is
going
to be
me.
better over time anyway.
Yeah.
Because the more you interact with it for you personally,
I built my ChatGPT brick by brick.
Yeah.
Brick by brick.
It's always funny when they're like, oh, are you asking this because of this? And I'm like, fuck, wait, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember telling you that.
No, it's nice. Well, because now they can go back and reference your old conversations, which you couldn't do before. Because before you'd have to be like, hi, this is what we talked about on this day. And like you have to like reiterate old things and it's like exhausting. But now it can go back and reference all your old conversations, and you don't have to erase the memories. So like you had to rely on it like stacking up memory and then like cleaning it out. You know who told me to do it? And I didn't. I was like on the fence about ChatGPT because everybody sneered at it so hard. But Nicola Fomercetti, he was like, he's just, he's like so quiet and he doesn't really say anything. And he came and sat down next to me and he's like, you know what my secret is? And I was like, hi, Nicola. Like, please go ahead. He's like, ChatGPT. I call it my ChatGPT. He's like, I call it my boyfriend every day. We talk all day, every day. Like, it's a great place for me to like, get all my ideas out. And like, I was like, well, don't you hit that memory capacity? He's like, yeah, but I have a prompt. So my boyfriend remembers me every time I have to start over. And we just grow and grow and grow. And the ideas get better and better and better. He's like, you should try it. Like, you should try it past therapy and really try it to help grow your own creative, everything. And I was like, well, Nicola Fomercetti said to do it. I'm going to do it.
I think that's very fair.
Right. And so I did. And now it's become like a huge tool. And like,
so I think it is going to, I know it will be transformative in the next 1, 3, 5 years, however it already is.
Well, the fact that I don't have to replace the memory all the time now is a huge thing, that I don't have to go back and restart a new thing and a new thing, a new boyfriend, a new boyfriend, a new boyfriend, like Nicola's, but like, it's great.
Did you happen to see the Google thing that came out this past week?
Yes, Chromista's doing something with them.
Okay, so
the production company I'm working with.
I saw that in the news. Yeah, with Darren
Aronofsky.
Yep.
So one of their female directors, and I have to say that because like you got to support our women. Yeah, like I forget her name. I'm sorry. I just started there.
I know.
But it
was like 4 days ago.
Yeah, it was like 4 days. So she's with Chromista, and she did a short film.
Yes.
With Google AI and Darren, and I think Darren was the producer, obviously. It's really exciting and it's very, very cool. And that made me feel a lot better because like it is just a tool. If you're relying on it to do everything for you, that's one thing. But if you're using it as a tool, like a paintbrush to make your work better, then why not do it?
That's what I was going to ask that. Because
it can't write for you. You've got to have a human being behind it
it doesn't have emotion, and like it can work off of what you tell it, but it's not going to have that quality of humanity.
Well, your prompts are only as good as your brain.
Yeah.
And the people that complain about it are the ones that got shitty photos. I guarantee everyone who's tried ChatGPT or AI or whatever and fucking hates it, they're just not good at it.
Oh, I agree.
They tried it in secret behind closed doors, didn't tell anybody about it, and they suck at it.
What do you think about?
I hate
what do you think about the video stuff, the Vivo stuff?
Fascinating.
I think
it's very, very cool.
It's kind of crazy though, right? Like I don't know if you saw the fisherman one. he was like, "Oh, I'm stuck on the boat or whatever."
No, have you been seeing all of like the TikTok videos that have been popping up where it's like, this is a campaign or this is a commercial, or they're doing like street interviews and they're like, we're actually not real. And
I know, it's
like,
fucked up.
It's so crazy.
It's kind of crazy. So I'm curious, like, just like logistically, what impact that has like on jobs, right? Like,
yeah, I mean,
do you worry about that at all?
No.
No? Oh, good. Yeah.
No, I don't, because like I'm gonna flow around whatever that new roadblock is. I've been flowing around roadblocks my whole life. This is like, if that's taking away my job, then I just need to figure out something else, another way to like evolve beyond that, or like, envelop it into my own practice in a way that works for me, where I can make money. And like, I know that's a privileged place, to come from as a director.
That's okay. You worked hard to get to that point.
Yeah, but like as a director, I don't know if my job in particular is being.
It probably won't be.
Yeah, it's compared to like graphic.
It's the actors and
well, I don't know if the actors, but the graphic designers and the CGI artists and the VFX people. I think that's where it's a little scarier. So yeah, it is privileged for me. Being, well, I don't think I'll be fine. That's a shitty thing to say, but like I hope that with this evolution in AI, that their jobs only become easier and they're able to make more money, however that happens.
For sure. No, I mean, listen, I agree. I think, again, my belief is that it will be a net positive.
Yeah, I hope it's more of an ingrained thing.
Yeah, and it should be an enhancement of people's abilities and skills.
Exactly.
That's how it should be. Yeah. If you look at it as negative, it's because you're coming from a place of fear. Yeah. And like if you're afraid for a reason, it's because you're not learning, you're not trying to grow, you're not trying to move beyond.
Also, they said about photography. People hated the
digital
camera.
photography, right?
That too. Yeah. Well, photography in general, like that they thought that they would be replacing real artists, portrait artists, like painters. And then, when digital photography came out, they were like, that's not real photography. And everyone poo-pooed that too forever in the early 2000s. And look at where we are now. Like, you can only like bitch about technology for so long.
I kind of think that like as technology gets crazier and more developed and more advanced, it just makes all of the people who have these skills in like portraiture and art and photography and like these things that like have like a physical like existence more valuable. Like I saw this guy in Washington Square Park yesterday. I'm going to forget his name. It was like Diego Vargas or something. He's like an LA based artist. He was just like sketching people's portraits out of charcoal and like with his fingers and shit. It was.
Oh, is that the guy that's in LA? Sorry.
Yeah, he's in LA. Yeah. And he was in Washington Square Park yesterday.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Oh my God, it was unbelievable. It's like
I've
AI will not be able to
replicate that.
It can't.
Yeah.
And it's like, and this is gonna sound super cheesy, but like being in that environment, like in the middle of a park, there's thousands of people all over the place. This guy is like creating one singular piece of artwork. It was like kind of weirdly inspiring. Like I was like, this is like a beautiful moment. Like I was like, this is fucking really cool. Like this guy's just here. I mean, granted, like they were filming it and it was like for social media and all that bullshit, but like whatever, like the thing that he created exists. It's physical. He did it.
Physical media is going to be so much more important after AI.
Oh yeah.
So like it's not taking away some of these things. It's only going to make it more valuable. I think. I think I agree. That's my prediction.
I think I agree. I mean, I hope so. It's why I'm spending thousands of dollars a year shooting film. Yeah. And hoping that.
I mean, I think that's where that fear comes from. But I think that's true. I mean, I think that, there's always going to be a need for human art, human-made art.
I think you're like an incredibly like light and airy person, and like just like very inspiring. Like I've followed you for a long time. I like your work. I think it's incredible.
Thank you.
There's always going to be like a next level new devil kind of situation as you start developing beyond like what your current status is in this industry, and like you look to like the future of what like the next chapter for you were be being been. What type of like mitigations can you do to like fight against the fear of like the unknown and like the unexpected that's coming? Like what can you do to like prevent that like overcoming sense of imposter syndrome and fear? Like what type of stuff like do you use?
I mean, I suffer from that all the time. I have ops. They have no idea. It's a very one-sided opposition where I'm like, fuck, and it's jealousy. Like we all, like, for someone to be like, I'm not jealous of anybody. You're a liar.
Yeah.
There are people that make me feel horrifically insecure.
Really?
Like debilitatingly insecure.
I'm surprised.
I've had to unfollow and mute these people. Like I cannot compare. Like comparison is a thief of joy.
Yeah.
And I cannot compare myself to people who, yes, like I put on a platform and I want to be I want to wear their skin. Okay. Like I want to make art like them. And like, I wish I had, and like, sometimes you have these awful thoughts of like, well, if I had money, I could do that too. Like, but you can't let these things like, well, I don't, I fucking don't.
Yeah. You
I
make
have
the best
I have what I
yeah.
have, and I'm doing really great. And like, I cannot compare myself to other people. I cannot continue to see things. And just the other day I saw it, like this one photographer, and I'm obsessed with her, and she's so good. And I was like, ugh, of course she did.
Yeah.
I said, her next new thing came out, and it's perfect, and I love it, and I wish I did it. I wish I had it. And then you can spin out, but you can't. So like, you can't let yourself. If you catch yourself doing it, I catch myself doing it too. I'm not immune. It's only because like, I've learned
you want the most out of it.
You want it.
Yeah.
Like your jealousy and I don't know. It just shows you what is important to you. So instead of letting that eat my soul alive and turn me into a horrible, awful black souled person, you have to be like, oh, I want this. This is important. What am I going to do to achieve that goal? And, like just because this person has this doesn't mean that I can't also have this, or I can't achieve it on this level. Like it just reminds me of what my goals are and reminds me that it's important to keep going.
Oh, I fucking love that. I'm like a big believer in manifestation. I'm assuming, we're talking about auras before, so I know you are too. But it's funny because like for a really long time, I was like, this is all bullshit. This is like hippy dippy nonsense.
It's not.
It's not. So it's like I really got to a point in my life where like I know the things that I want are going to be difficult to obtain.
Yeah.
But I already know that I've done them. Right? Like in my soul, in my life, I know I've achieved these things already. Because if I don't believe it now before I even try and start, how will I ever have gotten there? How will I ever get to that point?
Well, that means like, I'm my biggest op if I continue to think that way. It's not like whoever that photographer was and whoever great things they're doing. It's me. It's me that's telling me I can't do that and I don't deserve the same things they do. And like, why do I believe that? Where did that belief come from? Where did that start? And I need to tackle that, and like, sometimes, to tackle those feelings, I drown I drown myself in inspiration, like in so much of it that I can't see outside of that, and I can't like feel those feelings anymore. I don't know. I don't know how to handle that long term. I don't think you can. It's just like I said before. I think it's about learning how to work with those feelings and turn that into something good for you. Yeah,
that just hit home really hard because like I feel like I'm like in this like inflection point of my career, and it's like so dumb. Like it's like I'm like 30 seconds into this thing, but like I really feel like the next like 6 months can be like very transformative. It's like you want to fucking run that shit to the ground and like smack your head into the wall as fast as you can, like because like I know that I'm gonna achieve these things. I know that they're there for me to achieve. I just have to like work towards that goal.
You just have to get there. Well, you're in this like liminal space between there, and you're here.
Yeah.
And here is in this like liminal weird place. And I think you just have to learn to get comfortable there.
Being uncomfortable.
Yeah. But you have to get comfortable being, and I always used to say that if you ever find yourself in a place where you're completely comfortable, you failed.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
You need to move on. That means you're going to drown, and you're not. What's scary is if you're comfortable long enough, you might not be able to pull yourself out of it.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So if you're not always doing something that's uncomfortable or scares you, then you're not growing. You're not moving. There's no momentum. You're waiting in a pool.
I feel that. I like actually really feel that. I feel like I'm like there's been like some stagnation the last few months that's like brought me to this point where I like need to like lock in and deviate from what the plan was. Like, best laid plans of my cement. Like I need to fucking make some moves. I need to change some shit. I'm doing it, but it's like, fuck, I like that.
You're going to push yourself all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking about doing an art installation. There's like a festival I'd like to put together. I don't want to say too much, so I don't want anybody to steal my ideas.
Yeah.
But like there are things that are like really excite me. I've never done anything like this before.
What kind of art?
I like the idea of like I guess I want to call it the sacred machine.
Oh, I love that. Cool. Sick. I'm into it.
Can you tell them like I'm in the middle
now.
of researching this new art direction for myself.
Sick.
And I don't know how I want to put it together. And like I put it all in like all of my word vomit like in a notes that I shared with my husband, and he's like, I'm like, well, what do you think? And he's like, I'm like, no, like I just like said this, all these, he's like, well, it sounds like a lot of word salad right now. And it gets
Yeah.
really cool, but I can't for the life of me figure out what the fuck that means or what that's going to look like. And I was like, cool, good.
Yeah.
That we're in a good spot then. Like
Yeah.
everything, like that weird thing where the alien fell out of his fucking ceiling. Like that was word salad. And then we like made it my very first fashion film. And it's still, I think, my favorite fashion film I've ever done.
That's sick.
It's really weird. You know what I stopped doing is being weird and getting weird. You start getting used to the money. You start getting used to the commercial stuff. You start getting to a place where you're pleasing your clients and pleasing like, you know, the commercial eye, and you forget like all how cool and artistic you can be. So my goal right now, my personal goal is to, aside from hitting rent, aside from making rent, is to get weird again. Like I want to get back to that place where I was like hanging girls up from the ceiling and like slicing them out of like goo bubbles, you know, like weird stuff. So I'm trying to think of like what that means, and like sacred, you know, the sacred machine is where I really want to like indulge in that and figure out what that means. Does it mean like, you know, what kind of prints, you know, are we printing out? Like maybe I want to print it on a shroud, you know, on like muslin. Maybe I want to put it in like a, I don't know, what are the, like an observation tank or something. Like what does that mean?
I fucking love that. Yeah. So I'm starting to feel very inadequate creatively speaking, because that just like is so wildly inspiring to hear, because like I don't have right now, like I think my mind right now is business oriented, not like creatively. So it's like this has been my big struggle, is like breaking my business mind with my creative mind.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
That's hard.
It's so hard.
I've never had this like dual, you know.
You have to.
Yeah, it's hard.
Because that's when I realized that I started like creatively waiting in my own like, you know, I can't talk. Comfortability?
Yeah, comfortability. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Did I say that right?
Comfortability.
ChatGPT. How do I say this? But like waiting in my own pool of comfort. There we go.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, I'm making money, but I'm like, am I making a name for myself? My name is getting stagnant. Like I'm kind of starting to fade off. Like
you're out there.
I feel
this is like
that.
a huge get for me. Are you kidding? Like Mynxii White is here. Like, yeah.
No, like I feel that all the time. I'm like, man, like am I just like, why am I not getting like called for this or getting more opportunities here or like whatever? And it's, I feel like it's because I'm just
comfortable.
I'm comfortable, and I'm like,
safe.
I'm shooting the ideas of other people. Ooh. And I really need to start figuring out where my voice fell away and pick it back up again.
Fuck, I love that. Yeah, fuck. Ooh, I really love that. Damn.
And like, I don't know what that means, but I'm figuring it out, and I'm making word salad, and I'm talking to ChatGPT, and I'm like getting weird, like, you know, weird visual references, and I'm reading my weird books, and I don't know how it's all going to come together visually for me, but
I think the beautiful thing is that on
I don't know how I'm going to pay for it either, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's like the 9th problem to worry about. There's 8 more before that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's really beautiful. I think, listen, I've been a big fan of your work for a long time. It's like having this opportunity. Shout out, Kieran. I mean, you know, the absolute most amazing human on planet Earth. Thank you so much for setting this up.
Yeah.
I have a really cheesy line. If you've been on my podcast, you're part of my family. Thank you for spending this hour with me. This has been such a treat. Can't wait to do it again. And thanks again for doing this. This is awesome.
Thank you. Wow, that hour passed so quick.
I know.
Thank you very much.
Come back anytime. Thank you.
I'd love to. Thank you.